You ready? Because I am. Let's go. Hello, welcome back to my channel at Asha Media TV. My name is Asha, and if you're new here, welcome. This is where I like to watch and react to a variety of sci-fi / fantasy / comic book stuff. In this video, I will be reacting to the second episode of the first season of The Expanse. Now, before anything, I want to say a huge, massive, beyond the world, thank you to all of you that have subscribed to my channel based on my first reaction video to The Expanse. Your comments, majority, I would say 99.9% of them was very positive, very encouraging, very supportive. I can't believe it. I seriously can't believe it. I have to tell you guys this real quick, okay? All of you that have subscribed and that have watched that first reaction video. I was so sure no one was going to give an F about it. I didn't do my research, I'll be honest. I didn't go check on YouTube if other people were reacting to The Expanse. I didn't even check to see how big the fan base was, honestly. And I belong to another fan base of a series of books, so I understand fandom. And this was just one of those things where I was like, okay, you know what? The show looks interesting regardless. I still want to upload a reaction to it. And this is now currently to date, as I'm recording this video, that first reaction is my most viewed reaction, my most viewed video in my, tiny little channel I just started barely 2 weeks ago. It has the most comments, and within those comments, large majority, like I said, 99.9% of very positive, very heartwarming, informative comments. I can't believe it. You guys are amazing. And when I say guys, I mean that in a neutral sense, but I'll just say you folks, okay? You folks are amazing. Thank you so much. I'm so excited and so pumped to not only continue to react to this show, but also, of course, as I'm going to discuss a little further in a bit, I want to deliver just the right balance of a reaction as well as an interaction somewhat with you as my viewing audience specifically for this show. So I'm going to break down a little bit more details in just a minute. But I just wanted to say thank you so much. I've never had an experience like this. Like I said, I belong to a fandom of another series of books. I'm not going to mention that fandom just yet. That's going to be a little later in the year, and I have my reasons for that. But in that fandom, it's a massive one, I'm behind the scenes, so to speak. So nobody really knows a face to, a lot of stuff until later this year. They'll know. And so this is my first time kind of getting sucked into a fandom somewhat without anything deliberate on my part except for watching the pilot episode. So I just want you to know, like, this is beyond my expectations, but, I believe everything kind of happens for a reason. The experience I had reading your comments and taking to heart as much as possible the constructive feedback received with lots of courtesy and lots of respect. Thank you very much. I always appreciate that. Has allowed me now to kind of hone in on a formula, more or less. I wouldn't say formula, but just a pattern that I want to only mainly apply to my viewing of The Expanse because of the type of show that it is. So let me break it down real clear and let's get to watching episode 2, okay? So first off, I have to mention there will be spoilers. If you are new to my channel, if you didn't read the title, I'm not just going to talk non-spoilery stuff. I'm going to actually watch bits and pieces of the episode and actually talk about it. So you've been warned. Can't say I didn't warn you. It's weird that I have to, but I got it. Second, in this reaction video, I will mainly be completely focused on the screen up until I reach somewhat near the halfway point of the episode, to which you'll see this.
Stop. Hammer time. Stop.
Once you see that and hear that stop, hammer time, okay, that's me pausing the video, and I'm going to kind of summarize for myself what I understood as details that's necessary for me to know towards the end of the episode. And the reason why I need to do that is because many of you have said this is a very info dense type of show, and I'm a person that gets confused easily. And as you all know already, my attention span and not being able to kind of babble out my expression is going to be a work in progress for me. So the best way for me to go about it right now is to completely give my focus for a period of time, like I said, about halfway through the episode, and then I'm going to pause it, and I'm just going to summarize for myself, not too long, and it's going to be in my moment, really, with me and you, okay, as a viewer, where I'm going to kind of list off, okay, this has happened, that has happened, that has happened. I may throw a question out there that is probably going to be answered, hopefully, towards the end of the episode. Who knows? But the point is, it's my way to kind of regroup, okay, calibrate a bit my thoughts of where things are going and what I'm understanding, and then continue on to the end of the episode. And the reason why I feel that's necessary for me and for you, for those of you who are very actively wanting to guide me through this series, is that you'll be able to understand somewhat my mindset, my mind frame, by the time I reach the end of the episode. So if something major happens or a cliffhanger somewhat, you know why I reacted the way I did, because that's what I understood from the first half. Do you see where I'm going? Anyways, I want to try it out. I just want to see if that works for me as well as for you as a viewer. Yeah, this will be the actual series to which I'll be mainly glued to the screen, and my little quips here and there, they're going to be natural, okay? So if something makes me laugh, I'm going to giggle, all right? But I won't really go out of my way to kind of like blah, 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 and then look back at it, you know? Hey, some of you said you were cool with that, but for the majority of you, I understand that for this kind of show, it's really going to be a disadvantage for me in the end, because I'm not going to get what I'm looking for, and that is a very thorough experience with a very well-written show, from what it seems. I think I've done enough talking, don't you agree? So let's get to it. Episode 2, called The Big Empty. Play.
Fast, if you could ever get your hands on one. It's a crucial part of the formula. Neutralizes acidity, adds body, balances pH, something like that. Here. A perfect cup of coffee. It's an acquired taste. Sweet and sweet.
Hey, what's your name?
Ade.
Oh, that's a nice name.
Navigator.
Mm-hmm. Love at first sight.
Hoss. Hoss! Debris field! Buckle up! I'll try to drive us out of it. How bad are we gonna catch it? Pretty bad. All right, sweetheart. You know how much I love you. still have scopes. Damn straight. Do not lose that ship. Jesus, you're not. We're going after them. Buddy, I don't think that's.
Don't do it, Alex.
They just dusted 50 of our friends.
Well, let's not make it 55.
Alex, I'm telling you to go after that ship. What if they don't like being followed? They slip off that screen, they're gone forever. They'll get away with this.
He's right.
What is wrong with you? I gave an order.
You think rank matters now?
Get up. I'll do it myself. Get up!
We're not going anywhere.
Whoa, whoa! Let's just take a deep breath here, people. Hold it.
I'm taking a deep breath. Whew. Did she do the right thing, though? That sucks. Oh, he's got soap scum all over him, too.
Trying to thirst this out. Who's that? Earth? Mars? Why the shipment's not late? Go back. And we're gonna back. She's pretty sure about that. Water means life. One shipment late, you got the protest. 2 shipments late, you got dead people in the street. And it's gonna get worse. Mark my words. Father poured hot coffee in the parking lot. Father poured hot coffee in the parking lot. Home. I'm home. Show me my file. Copy all files. Replay my last messages. I've tried to give you the best of all worlds, and you choose to live like some filthy handmaid among the riffraff of the solar system. Since you have no intention of returning home, I'm forced to consider selling the Razorback. You're naive, sweetheart. It's time to come home. Please. I'll make everything right again. Jesus, spare me. Show me my replies.
You're so blind and so condescending, and you're never gonna change. If you want to take yourself seriously as an adult, then why should I care about being your child? You want to sell the Razorback? Do it. You can't buy me off or control me anymore. Maybe what you hate about me the most is that I remind you of yourself.
Smart.
Keep it up, partner. You'll get there. Is it true you had a belter up on books for 20 hours?
He's an OPS ordinary and a terrorist.
The Secretary General.
He didn't want
The Secretary General has publicly disavowed gravity torture. If you want to talk to that belter, you put him in the tank.
20 hours?
You know who I am?
I've heard a few, yes. Many interesting tales.
You're well spoken for an OPA soldier.
Because I'm a belter, I'm naturally OPA. I'm just a citizen of the belt. I work for the future of my people, the shuttle heroes.
Then for the future of both our people, I need to know how you got your hands on restricted stealth technology that could destroy the balance in the system.
You mean the balance between Earth and Mars? In a way, it's a lousy deal for belters.
The OPA demands legitimacy through violence. They haven't earned it any other way.
No, you talk to me through a piece of glass. You see my body, which can no longer survive on the very planet that bore my great grandmother. Earth has created a race of exiles out in space, who have no homes to return to. All this go unanswered. I don't mean to make you afraid, Nana.
Have I given you the impression that I'm afraid?
Then why waste your time on a meaningless courier like myself?
You're too modest, child. Someone entrusted you to transport pieces of the Holy Grail. The question is, who? There are places far worse than this. And I imagine there is a mother somewhere who would love to see her boy again.
Yes, also, Nana. I understand. We all have our duty.
We've got a dead radio and about 4 hours of oxygen left.
Alex, how much burn do we have? I could guess maybe a third of the way to Ganymede Station, maybe. Or get us right to the edge of the shipping lanes, then we'd have to brace them, tripped over us. You don't have the dead transponder looks like space trash. What's wrong with the radio?
All it's cooked, and I'm guessing the antenna array up top has seen better days.
See if you can improvise another board. I'm gonna go outside and see what's what. Great. We'll wait here. I don't mean to be a bad news boy or anything, but airline's done. It's gone. And what's left to show? You out of your tree?
We'll lose all oxygen in the cabin.
Everything that happens on fixing that radio. We're wasting time. There you go. Calling shots again. I'm going outside. You got a problem with that?
Amos, go with him.
Let's just hold on for 1 second. We don't have to go outside. We're safe right now. We open those doors, we're done. The ship could crack apart. I'm telling you. If we open those doors, please just listen to me. Listen to me. If we go out there, we're gonna die. I'm not ready to die. Hey, you're in shock. You're in shock. You know the symptoms. Just breathe. Breathe. There you chilled. Okay. Now we're gonna go outside. I'm gonna fix the antenna. I'm gonna make some noise and get rescued. Okay? Watch your step, boys, and run away. How's it looking out there? Well, it could have been worse. always be worse. Okay. It's worse.
Captain was pissed when around. Showing the stone. Yeah, it must be my week. You were his partner. Drawing all out of cases.
Well, it's about time. Expected you an hour ago.
That's a long hoof from Medina, sir.
A week ago, those dead patches started appearing. My guess is the Griegus are stealing water again. Some belchers clearly don't respect the green space's role in recycling the air and the water. Not to mention the embarrassment it causes the governor. You seem sure it was belters. The criminals here tend to be. You're new here, aren't you?
We'll get right on that, sir.
Maybe if everyone in Ceres had this view, they respected me. There. Now you can make your own view. Oh, shit! You're an Earther. I don't even know where you're from. We're gonna be space trash in a few hours. And you wanna start a friendship? I don't think we're gonna make it. What are you doing up here? Naomi told me to. So I am. As far as I'm concerned, she's the cat now.
Alex, send me some juice to E12. Alex. Alex.
Oh, E12. Copy that. There you go, sugar.
You doing okay out there?
Doing as good as due on a morning full of sunshine. Hey, what's the deal with you and Naomi? You two an item or something?
An item?
Hey, it's none of my business, but you must think I'm pretty stupid, don't you? I mean, you're right. I can take a core part, put it back together with my eyes closed. But ask me whether or not I should rip your helmet off and kick you off this bucket. And I can't give you a reason why I should or shouldn't. Except Naomi wouldn't like it.
He didn't answer the question though.
Could you pass me the drill? Thank you. And I lost my Clementine.
Alex, what are you doing?
I'm bringing her home, honey pie. One hey, two, and we'll be together. Just one trip to Ganymede, sweetheart. Oh, don't be like that, sugar. I said I'm coming home. Alex,
What's wrong with him?
he's hypoxic.
Oh, it's a delirium.
His
Low oxygen.
Damn it, how long Can you hold on?
We're losing him. We're coming back in.
Negative. We don't have enough oxygen to vent again. Shed, take care of him. Do something.
We're in a vacuum. He's in a suit. Look, what do you want me to do? There's no spare.
Shed, you're a medic. Act like one.
Okay, hold on, buddy. Listen, I'm hooking our breathers up, okay, so we can share air. So you can breathe off mine, okay?
Shed, what's happening?
Okay. Hold on, buddy. Just, come on. Hold on, Alex. Come on. There it is. Breathe. Breathe, Alex. Breathe it in. Breathe. Just keep breathing. We're buddy breathing.
Buddy breathing is good.
It's all gonna be good. Said you got this. No one else dies today.
If we don't get that radio back, we all die. Today.
Okay, Alex, my turn, buddy. Just need a couple breaths. That's the stuff. How's Alex doing?
He's hanging in there.
What does that mean?
Means he's hanging in there. Get on with it. Hurry up.
Don't look at it. Just think about something else, okay? Like your kid. Think about your kid. Swinging on a swing or something. You're trying to distract me.
No, carry on.
Oh, piece of shit.
We have connection. Get back in here now. Come on.
That's right.
Breathe, damn it. Okay.
Ow! What the hell did you do to me? You saved my heart, partner. You crazy son of a bitch. I know for a while.
Okay.
Hammer time.
Uh, That was intense. The tension in this show is going to give me palpitations like crazy. Okay, but it's good. It's good. All right, let me do a quick summary for myself of what I understood so far. The one thing I could say I understand definitely for sure is I'm definitely team Naomi and Amos. I remember the names. All right, those two. Naomi specifically, she is a leader. Practical, logical, and compassionate. 3 great qualities for a leader. Obviously, Jim, Holden, right? Kind of a hothead, but I do think he made a good point that they may never see that ship again. But I'm assuming they will, right? But just in that moment, Naomi, she was right. They would have probably all died trying to get to that ship when in the end they have a damaged ship to which they're going to lose oxygen. So granted. But in that moment, though, I felt his rage. I felt his need for vengeance. We must avenge. Okay, so the ship went away. They didn't catch up to it. They fixed the ship. That whole moment between Alex and Shed, awesome. Really great scene. And Shed's moment of panic and having Holden steady him was really, really wonderful to see. I might as well kind of put some of the stuff I like now before I forget it later on, for what it's worth. All right, so we know where they're at now. They're all safe and sound. They're still stuck in the area they're in. So what's not clear to me just yet is, do they have the horsepower or whatever power needed to get out of there? Or are they still stuck there, but now they have oxygen to breathe? So we'll find out. All right, let's now get to Detective Miller. At first, I was confused when he entered the apartment or condo, whatever, as to where he was. And then, of course, it became clear it was the missing woman's place. And listening to her messages, hearing what her father had to say. And I liked that whole scene because there was so much told without being told, right? It played itself out, which is wonderful. I always love exposition done that way. So I learned that she didn't have a really great relationship with her father. Was very antagonistic. She felt right. He felt right. And that never works out when 2 people feel right. It ends up in a big wrong. So we know that. And now one thing did confuse me, very, very small, but some of you may have seen my facial expression, was the rat in the cage. It was like frozen in time for like a quick second. And then after that, it started running on the wheel. So was it because... Okay, I'm trying to think, why was that? Tell me if I'm right in the comments. Is it because no one was occupied inside the place? Because when he went in there, the detective, he had to kind of turn things on. So was that like an animatronic rat that was like kind of shut off because the power was off in the unit? And then when he turned it on, it like started running around the wheel? Or was that a real rat with... I don't think it was real because it had glowing eyes like a robot rat, right? Why, who would have a robot rat? But anyway, so let me know. I want to know if that was a real rat or not, and if I was right that because he turned on the unit, it started running the rat race. So I'm assuming when he left, he goes back to like power down kind of rat thing. You know what I mean? I did like that moment, as you may have noted, that he noticed how much water level was available because she hasn't been there, she's missing, and he's like, okay, time to clean out the shampoo out of my head. I love that. All right, so and then he goes off to meet that douchey guy who was complaining about Belter stealing water from grass. That part there I kind of missed a little bit, who he was, and anyway, so yeah, I missed that part. But what I understood from it, that was a moment to see the difference between him and his new partner, his Earth partner. And his Earth partner, he's got cojones to say his mind and kind of try to put that dude in his place. But I'm sorry, that dude owned him by giving him the cactus. Am I right? Come on, he owned him in that. I had to give credit where credit is due. Okay, so for that part there, in case any of you guys were wondering about why I was grimacing, at the moment where Miller was putting back the water inside the the bottle. I don't know, because I'm thinking backwash in my head. I'm like, oh, he's putting back backwash. But water is a precious commodity, right? So it's a precious thing. So I could understand any little scrap of nothing is whatever, you know? It matters. So I get that, but it was just gross to see. Now let's go back to the belter in the tank. That woman, the one who's interviewing him, my goodness, interrogating him. I forgot her name. I will learn it eventually. But so what I'm understanding from that scene was that this is the more humane way to torture belters in a tank rather than keeping them on hooks for 20 hours. Crazy ass woman. But obviously, from what we learned between her exchange with the other guy that was confronting her about the torture method she used, was that the information this belter has is crucial to understanding or unraveling a conflict that's going on between Earth and Mars people. Is what I'm getting from it. There's a political conflict going on, and this belter has information about this Holy Grail, which I don't know what that refers to, but I guess that's the mystery. But Holy Grail, essentially, obviously, I can tell it's something of importance, right? Something that can be the key to something else, and she wants it, and the belter knows how to access it, or the belter, according to her, said that somebody gave him that information. She wants to know who that is. So it's basically trying to find out his source, and he likely looks like he's going to die before he spills the beans. But that exchange was quite interesting between the two of them. I really enjoyed that. And from some of you that put in the comments a description of understanding the old school belters versus the new school belters and their reverence or their active reverence by tattooing themselves. Thank you for those explanations, because it kind of helped me understand a little bit when she was referring that to him and he was kind of bouncing back at her about it. So that was cool. All right, I think I get the gist of it so far. So right now, what I'm looking forward to see at the end of this episode is, does the crew now that's stuck in space, our five, or I'll call them the Lost Five for now, the Lost Five, are they going to make it back to where they need to go, or are they stuck in space? Like, would this be two separate narratives where it's going to be about these guys surviving this part of space of all that crap that happened to them, and then we have the whole thing happening on series, and that exchange of finding the missing girl with the detective. So that's mainly my thing. And of course, what's going to be the end result with the interrogation of that belter in the tank. Will he spill the beans, or will she kill him? Because she seems kind of ruthless. And I don't know, she seems like she's got a hidden agenda behind all of this. It's weird, because you did see that moment, and the actress did a really good job in portraying her fear of really this guy and the information he possesses that she can't seem to get him to crack and divulge. So that was well played, and I'm really intrigued to see, what's going on there. All right, so that's it for now. Let's get back to business.
I need him sent to run out for deep heading takers.
Let the team here go another round, they'll break it. Have a budget. It's already shot to hell. And unlike you, I can grovel and promise and deliver to get reappointment.
This concerns me. How?
You're 2 heartbeats away from running the government on this planet. Yet you're accountable to no one. How does that happen?
This boy isn't some hapless smuggler. I believe the OPA may be trying to obtain stealth weapons.
Everything is on an OPA plot, and if Earth can't afford a stealth program, how can a bunch of rot tossers?
They can't. Unless they have found a new friend like Mars.
Cold War's a bloodless war. Mutual distrust and complete codependence. Nobody wants to change that. Least of all, Mars.
That's another thing. I want every Martian weapons facility under a microscope.
They are. Any belter will make gravity on Luna better.
That's the only thing I like. I'm afraid for it.
Heaven help your enemies, Chrisjen.
Chrisjen.
Heaven help us all if Mars and the Belt decide to share it too much. Oh, no. I'll give you that.
antenna's working, but our signal's still too weak. The transmitter was severed from the power grid. It's done.
This just keeps getting better and better. So we just blew an hour of air from a radio that doesn't even work. Wait, make ourselves amplified. We're gonna need a shitload of power.
Take everything apart. Be fast and be careful. We're inside a balloon with a pin here. If it has a battery, a power pack, any charge capability, it goes into a part. I'm sorry, does anyone need a back rub first?
She's boss, man. I love it. But in a good way.
If someone hears our SOS, they're gonna think we're pilots. Well, we're just gonna have to pray there's another caring soul out there like Ade. Ade? She's where we're in this shit right now. She had found a wall that stupid distress call. Hey. You don't know what you're talking about. I want to keep your teeth in your mouth.
We're wasting air. You don't want to unburden your soul. Do it on your own time. On the remotest chance we get out of this alive. We have enough problems right now.
Yes, sir. My guy was telling me, hump yourself. Jeez, really? I hadn't realized that. You have plans for it anyway? Not even gonna ask. Nice tat. Boss let you wear your colors like that? You? Boss has one just like it. Here's one. In the southeast corner of the gardens. This guy? Yep. Here.
What is that?
That's a box you eat, right? Amateurs. They admire the stones right in the park. You say this pipe diverts too? 12 little condenser grid. It's in the warehouse.
Even water like these two there. Belt loader gonna want it. Some of them.
Ooh,
You can sell him.
let's make some money. Sorry, let's don't move.
Hey! Hey! Hey!
Be smart. Come on, kid.
Waste of water.
That's everything you got? Hey, do not work, huh? Hey, whoa, whoa! You punks doing stealing a ton of water.
Free sample. Oh, piss off, vinegar. You know, you're lucky. It's us chasing you, and not the greedies. We feed you your fingers for playing in that district. Creek is gone. Besides us now. Nobody just abandons their territory. A bunch of street punks. See, the greedies were smart. They siphon a little water, sell it off. Nobody's wiser. It's you. You gutter punks. You slew the golden goose. Okay, man? Slewing young gangsters, kid. Dirtbag school's in session. Listen, pick all the pockets you want. Roll drunks. mess with the water, that's when you're going down. Yeah, a couple years on a prison bar, 7 straight. Huh? You like that? Do what you gotta do.
Brave kid.
Hey, hey. Get out of here. Stay away from the aqua. And all your friends. I did not see that coming. Huh? Like this. You see that coming? Yeah.
You saw that coming.
Madam, I apologize for calling so late. There's been an incident on the shuttle to Luna.
Go on.
The prisoner, Heike Sabon, took his own life by avoiding high-gravity injections from his crash couch. It appears he broke free of his restraints during the critical phase of the ascent when he knew the guards would be receiving their own injections. I think, Madam, he was making a statement.
Speak frankly, please.
Earth's gravity. We used it to hurt him. He threw it back in our face.
You want to clue us in?
You speak and we answered. He's a pirate captain. It's top-grade militia stuff. Serial stamp on the main board. Martian Congressional Navy.
It makes all kinds of sense. That ship that attacked the camp wasn't tucked behind an asteroid. It's hiding in plain sight. The stealth ship. Well, they nuke a civilian ship without warning because they can. You don't know what you're talking about. Oh. What the hell are we tangled up in? Who gives a shit? Let's focus on staying alive. We'll worry about Mars later.
Good so far?
Good scene. We got 3 hours of juice. Well, I guess all we gotta do now is pop a cold beer and wait to be rescued. No, got no record of a razorback on these docks. Any special hangar where rich people keep their pleasure craft? What serious? Oh, last I heard. Now there's a girl I'm not gonna forget anytime soon. Yeah, why's that? A few rotations back, some dog jock was slobbering all over while she's packing shit out. The guy must have mistaken good manners for encouragement. He laid hands on her. Damn, she planted it. Deck. That girl had skills. What ship was that? Scopuli. Dumpy old transport. No cargo. Just this young lady and a few crew. So this ship manifest will you? Transponder logs, etc. She's some kind of trouble? Sure, it's nothing she can't handle.
It's a good reply.
Alex? Someone heard us. Someone heard us? Yeah. Are they coming? Just waiting for the bounce back. Ship all route. About 4. It's almost 80,000 clicks. It's gonna be a hell of a push, Dave.
We'll make it.
You'll make it.
What? What is it? Shit. It's Mars. The Dodger. Flagship of the Martian Navy.
Coming to finish the job.
And you just told him where we were.
Continues pure Raider Canterbury, which disappeared while responding to a distress call. The Canterbury was reported to be carrying ice bound for Siri Station, and the loss of that shipment has prompted a drastic increase in water rationing station-wide. A spokesperson...
Okay. That's all making sense now.
Goblins, pal. Sure can pick 'em.
And your last arrows here?
Not uncertain. Shipped out on the Scopuli. It went dark right after takeoff. Vanished.
Weak for vanishing ships. I think a rich girl like her would have had that birthmark.
It's a birthmark her parents would have had it fixed. It's a scar. I think she wanted it fixed.
What is it?
Well, it's a badge of defiance. Instead of being who she's supposed to be.
I love the name Delight in the Gale. That's awesome.
Wow. She told you that herself?
And she did. Listen, we're the only ones know what happened to the kids. We get on that ship and chances are we'll never come down. Unless
What are you doing?
buying us insurance. My name is James Holder, speaking for the 5 survivors of the Canterbury. Our ship was destroyed answering a bogus SOS from a ship called the Scopuli. We recovered a false beacon identified as Martian naval technology. It was a trap. Are you insane? Taken aboard the MC or a dungeon.
Alex, shut down.
Just lock us out. Lock us out. It won't. We intend to cooperate, folks. This means we won't be harmed. Should I smoke them? Say the word. We're dead anyway. Any such action will only confirm that the Canterbury was destroyed by Mars.
think that was a good strategic play, even if they didn't like it.
So each one should. One station, that rules fine.
Mm-hmm.
Count on me. The jammer's my range.
You are prisoners of the Mars Congressional Republic. Move and you die.
Woo! That was quite an episode. Let's start with what I enjoyed the most. The tension. The buildup of tension from beat to beat between the characters, from one commanding one thing, the other reacting, the timing, all of that. That takes a great director and it takes great actors to achieve that. So I can't even imagine the casting process must have been quite stringent. And I mean, we can clearly see the end result is awesome. So that's the first thing I really loved, was the beat for beat tension was earned. For me as a viewer, you saw me when I was getting like, woo, and then when I was getting relaxed, it was just really well done. And that takes, like I said, a great director, a good editor too. All right, so that's the first thing I really enjoyed. The second thing is I got an answer to my question. Now we know what happens to them at the end. They get taken as, I guess, hostages by the Martian Navy. So that's going to be interesting. So what's coming clear to me now, where I'm starting to understand a little bit more, and thanks again to some of you who commented about that, and I don't remember all the comments, which is why I've actually decided to copy-paste everybody's comments and put them into a folder, and I'm going to kind of read through it on my lunch break every day, because I really want by episode 3 to feel that I'm at least up to date with kind of the basics, right, of what's really going on. What's the overall war between Earth and Mars? What's the main politics between each groups? So that as I keep watching the episode, I can catch on a bit quicker. And of course, with your guidance as my subscribers and many of you who are simplifying it for me in terms that I can understand, I love that. Thank you so much. And I really appreciate more of that for every episode that I react to. All right, so that's definitely the second thing, was the end of it, them getting taken hostage, but at least they're alive, right? At least they're alive. All right, now the third thing I enjoyed was that whole bit with the Belter choosing to take his life. He spat back gravity at her because she used gravity to torture him, and he turned it around on her as a message, and I thought that was really, really interesting. And I noticed that the camera panned onto pictures of what seems to be her family. I guess that's her son and her husband, because it was an older man, or maybe her dad. Who knows? Does that mean something? Because many of you said that no shot, no scene is wasted in this show. So I'm assuming those are people in her life that it has meaning for her, that drives her purpose to why she wants to do what she wants to do. And what was interesting with her was the fact that the guy, I gotta remember his name for next episode, the one that she was talking to back and forth in that like amphitheater kind of place, where he was telling her, you're pretty much like gonna rule Earth kind of thing, or you're two positions away or 2 steps away, and yet you answer to no one. And that was a great indication of how much authority she has and how much power she has. Yet obviously from her end, there's this seething hate and animosity between Earth and Mars people, which I can only assume, when you look at characters like that, it comes from some kind of tragedy that she likely went through, or maybe she lost her son. Maybe that was a picture of a dead son. I'm just throwing things out there, or someone she cared about, she lost. Obviously, I think there's some loss, because loss leads to the anger and the revenge and the hate. I've seen it in a lot of other things. I could be completely wrong, and I'm sure some of you will let me know, but that's what I'm guessing so far. It comes from her own personal connection to the conflict going on. And the last thing that I absolutely enjoyed specifically with this episode, and I'm assuming they're going to repeat it in future episodes due to what I can tell is the quality of the show, is that they reveal things in a natural, organic way. As many of you have told me in the comments, they don't have like somebody narrating things for you. Exposition is done through the actions. That's why I understand now even fully why so many of you are like, pay attention to what's going on in the screen, because nothing is really wasted, from the background characters to what's happening right there in the moment with dialogue, So I think I did a pretty good job, let me know, of staying quite focused. And I had my moments, yes, I slipped up a little bit, where I kind of looked at the camera and said something here or there. But I think I did a decent job not doing it too often and in between quiet moments where it was granted, right? Let me know. All right, so I think this is probably going to be the only show for now. This could change, I'm sure. But I don't see myself ever having maybe a negative about any episodes. The show seems to be so damn good that I'll just probably every reaction I'll just likely just tell you what I enjoyed the most, because I can't think of anything I didn't like. No, can't think of anything I didn't like, because it's hard to kind of nitpick when you don't really fully understand as well, So this is grade A stuff, man, grade A stuff. If anything, I'll be honest and say I was a little bit worried that maybe the show was a little too overly intellectual for me to react to for this channel. Like, it's one of those type of shows where I'd watch privately. But because there's so many of you who are willing to be helpful and helping me understand and giving me your thoughts and taking the time to write out paragraphs of information for me, I'm just going to take that as my pillar of support and keep going. And the times that I feel really dumb, I'll just have to kind of, don't worry, Asha. Your subscribers, they've got your back. And many of you do, and I really appreciate that. And however I can give you guys a shout out all at once at one point, I will do so soon enough. Now, just to compare my reaction from the first episode to now, I would say that the wow factor visually was more in the first episode because it was something I'd never seen before. And now seeing it again, just the realism, even just when they were, what's his name again? Hottie Holden, Hottie H Holden, Hottie Holden, and Amos were on top of the ship trying to fix stuff, and then when he loses the wrench, just simple things like that is very interesting. And when the camera would zoom in on even like the pipes where the condensation of the water, that's water just flowing away. It's quite obvious that a huge theme of this whole show is the importance and the value of water. And where they show it in imagery is really fascinating, and I like to catch that when I can. I'm going to have a blast just trying to look for those Easter eggs some of you guys bring up in the comment section wherever possible. Now, what are my predictions for next episode? I don't even know if this is the kind of show I can make any predictions on. All right, so let's start with our Lost Five. Now we're calling them the Hostage Five. Okay, so I predict for them they're going to be obviously taken into custody with the Martian army. So I predict they're going to likely be tortured, right, for information, kind of one of those, who are you? What are you doing here? What's going on? However, now the impact we're going to see is the fact that they're delayed in delivering the ice. I finally got that. Some of you, if you've noted, when I said at that point, I'm getting it, it was that whole news announcement talking about the lost Canterbury ship and how the delay of the ice is literally like people are dying with their delay of the ice. And I just like how it's just showing the chain effect, right? The chain of sequences when one thing happens and how it's a domino effect on everything else. And so now that they're going to be taken hostage by Mars, and I'm now wondering if they were responsible to bring in ice, and now they're not going to, but then the Martian army are going to have access to that ice, right? Because it's still on the ship, I'm assuming? Or is it starting to melt because that's what the condensation on the poles were? I don't know. But somehow I feel like the ice itself is going to be leverage that maybe the Martian army will use to kind of threaten the situation further. And either way, okay, I'm predicting basically with this Hostage 5, they're going to be interrogated. It's going to be tense between Martian people and them. That's my prediction for those guys. Now let's move on to Detective Miller. So what I understood in this whole episode with Detective Miller is now he's getting more insight as to the kind of person that missing woman is. And I forgot her name. I gotta learn her name. But he's now getting an idea of how she thinks. You know, kind of guys she likes. What kind of skills she has. And again, I love how they make it where someone else narrates the story within a story without being overtly exposition, right? When that man was telling him how, you know, she decked this guy, then that's given an indication that she's physically skillful in some form of combat where she can take down a dude easily, it seems, right? So that's telling you a lot there just in terms of her skill set. And then her personality, her interaction when it comes to the dating pool of stuff, that was fascinating. And I like how they show it through him investigating her personal things, going to her home, listening to messages, and getting an idea of her relationship with her dad, as I had mentioned previously, in case you skipped my my halfway point summary stuff. Now, my prediction for Detective Miller is, I can only assume now, I mean, we're going to be in the 3rd episode, so I can only assume with Detective Miller, it's just going to be us as a viewing audience, or me as a viewing audience, watching him find as many clues as possible, and how he finds them, and what he determines from them. I can see where, towards the end of the season, he finds her, right? Or they find out what happened to her, and which will coincide parallel to the Hostage 5. That's my guess. If I'm completely off, I'm off, right? I'll find out soon enough. I'm also really fascinated to see what his partner, his new Earth partner, how he's going to develop as a character, and to see more of his personality shine through, and how he's going to now handle himself with really difficult situations as he's trying to learn from Miller, right? That's going to be kind of like, it's almost like a Padawan situation. I'm thinking Star Wars here in my mind. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. What else to predict? Let's go back to our main lady that I can't remember her name right now. I apologize, and I will know it next episode, I promise. And that's now, she no longer has this belter to which she was going to try to get information. And now what is going to be her next recourse to get the info she wants and find out about this whole Holy Grail thing? I can only presume she's going to now take some measures with her own influential party, because she's obviously someone with a lot of authority. Maybe she's going to reach out to someone who has power and authority in another section of things to get some help in tracking down other individuals that they can interrogate or trap in some way. Is she going to get another belter to torture? Who knows? I can't really think of much what I could predict for her, except I feel she's going to bump up her game in her ruthlessness. Because as I mentioned before, she has it's clear she is personally, emotionally involved with the situation. So I'm predicting that it has a lot to do with her a family tragedy of some sort. It usually is in things like this, but I'm happy to be surprised, and I'm sure you'll see my surprise nonetheless. I'm already in love. I'm in love, folks, with the show. This is going to be not just visual candy, but intellectual candy, which I definitely need these days. That's all I got for you for this episode. I hope you enjoyed this reaction, and Tell me in the comments if this more focused Asha watching this type of show was something you enjoyed and you want to see more of me doing it that way. Let me know how you felt about the kind of halfway break point of me doing some summary stuff, not only for myself, but also just to engage with you back and forth, and so you'd have something to kind of guide me through for the next episode in the comment section. And of course, the best way to show how much you enjoyed this video reaction is to like and subscribe. And click on that bell for my next upload. Alright, thanks very much everyone for tuning in. I'm Asha signing out, and you know what I'm going to say next. Peace out. Thanks for watching. Check out my other videos and subscribe. You know you wanna.